It's not working.
Just pull up the mic from Pablo's computer.
Try it now. Fucking it.
As long as we have video.
I don't know if tapping the mic might not even work with these little buffer ones.
It would, yeah, definitely work.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Tap the mic again.
No, it's picking up your mic. Or the mic from the webcam.
So it's just straight with the webcam mic.
Just yell really loud.
It might work.
40K! Why does it look like they're yelling? Reese is turning blue in the face.
It might work just fine. We're not that far away from it.
Yeah, just leaning forward.
Oh my fucking god. This is awful.
That's the rules! Really shit.
Oh, we're streaming live, by the way.
Oh boy.
Can you hear us? Yes, you can. Do you like that guy?
Yeah, so chat, right now, basically long story short, there's an issue, with streaming, and we're streaming on one computer, and currently I'm working to figure out how to get the stream.
This is the content I came for.
Alright, hold on.
You aimed to please.
Alright. The green screen, the green screen will not be working. We're going with jankiness today, everyone. All right, can you talk, both of you?
Yeah.
Hello.
No, it's picking up like your mic over there.
Check.
Can you hear us if we talk really loud? Oh, you're Tomodachi, you are so early. These are all the pre-things. If you come early, you get to see them.
Yeah, I am, and I'm sorry, chat.
Well, why don't we I'll just do a solo stream using your laptop.
Sure, if you want to do that. Okay.
Just get it done.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
All right, chat. You're gonna see my face. It's not gonna be pretty. I apologize. So boom.
Oh.
Wait, HD Pro Web? Oh,
You need to unplug my webcam.
I did. Oh, no, this is not signals. This is just PDPop checking the audio. So the audio should get a little better here.
Infantry, ignore movement penalties.
I just want to be clear, as the audio technician for signals, this was not just my fault. This is a group effort. This is multiple levels of it's the chapter tactics takeover. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this now. Boom. So I should sound better now. I'm just gonna change this. Zoom that out a little. So it should sound better now, chat. Let me know if it worked. Yep, the chat has audio. This audio is not going to sound great, but I just want it to sound better than the way it sounded before previously. Okay, it should only be picking up this mic right now. So check. Oop. Nope, it's not picking it up. Okay, how is that, everyone? Is this better? Can you hear it now? It should sound better now. I think it's working. Yep, okay, perfect. Yep, that's the mic. Okay, perfect. All right, guys, I'm going to pass this over to Reese. This is going to be a janky signals, and then we'll start it.
Did you fix the podcast not showing up on Pocket Cast?
Oh, yeah, that already got taken care of. So here's your chat. You don't need to look at yourself if you don't want to.
Can you give me a split screen of the notes, please?
Yes, I can.
Oh, baby. Who's excited? These are the lightest weight headphones I've ever felt. These are definitely not Beats by Dre. I feel disappointed. These are Beats by Lupe.
Beats by Lupe. Turn this sensitivity down. Hold on. Alright, cool. So there you go. Here's your chat.
And then how do I stop it when I'm done, Pablo?
You go to OBS and you hit stop streaming right there. You can also, come get me if you want.
That's all right, I'll handle it. I'm a consummate professional.
Then go ahead, click. It should be slow now, so you should be good to go. Go ahead, click OBS. Center your. You look good, by the way.
Thank you. No, it does not. I got the schmedium. All right. What's up, everybody? This is going to be a little bit of a unique Signals from the Frontline. Probably the best episode we've ever had, if I'm going to be honest. Just strictly because of my talent and Pablo's technical expertise. So, hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Obviously, this is going to be a little bit non-standard, but by the power of Grayskull, we will get through this and cover some of the topics of the day. So why are we doing this stream from the warehouse at Frontline Gaming? We don't have the streaming laptop, and that's kind of critical. And Pablo is new, taking over from Mariana, and that's why we were kind of grasping at straws, but we're getting it done.
You said we wanted to be like the GW app.
We're getting it done. Thanks, Frankie. So welcome to the show, everybody. Signals from the Frontline streamed live on Wednesdays, brought to you by frontlinegaming.org. You can buy tabletop gaming goodies from us at a discount, but you all know that. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'll be engaging with the chat. For those of you who are listening to the show, if you want to join us live, normally that's 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, or our Twitch channel. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Greg Hunter, Dan Miner, Ben Schmoller, Tanya, the War Mistress, Tomodachi, Ismail, so many other of our friends. I got a heckler in the back here, Mr. Frankie G and Papa. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and jump in and have a little bit of a short show, but we'll cover some of the key points of what's going on this week. So this week's pre-order from Games Workshop is Dire Chasm, the new Warhammer Underworlds box set. This advances the game with the new season, new models. You can pick that up from us at a discount in the web cart, store.frontlinegaming.org. There's also some really cool Warcry box sets that are out. These feature discounted bundles of Age of Sigmar models that you can now use as a Warcry warband. And as I always say, they always make really good, a really good mix of models for things like D&D as well. The models are gorgeous. They're usually about 30 to 40% cheaper than buying the individual models. Obviously, you can't do that, but they do give you a discounted bundled price. So definitely check those out if you like the models, if you just want to paint them, if you play Warcry, or if you want them for D&D. Ultimintra in the chat, yeeted. Still don't know what that means, but at my age, I don't think I'll ever fully understand a yeet. And that's okay. Next week, GW pre-order is going to be a wide variety of items, including Blood Bowl, Adeptus Titanicus, and Necromunda. There's some amazing models coming out. Again, you'll be able to pick those up from us in the web cart at a discount if you so desire. And I do believe that these will not be allocated, which is nice. We'll actually have more than one or two to sell. Big news for those of you who are Black Library fans. Uriel Ventress, the venerable Ultramarine from Minnie's Tales, is coming to us in model form. And what a model it is. He has a ferocious bowl cut going on. And he looks like he has not been hitting the gym as much as usual. Definitely been hitting the pie shop, as somebody said, which I thought was quite funny. not the best sculpt on the head on that model. We'll just we'll leave it at that. Normally you'd be able to see it right now, but obviously you cannot. Not the best model I've ever seen. Not worst, but definitely not the best. Alandril in the chat says their FLGS got exactly one of each battle force. Yep, that is accurate. The allocations have been rough for everybody. I know a lot of game stores are struggling to stay open during COVID, and GW is struggling to meet demand. Hopefully they can catch up soon so that game stores have more than one or two of new items to sell. It's pretty rough. As all of you know, the LVO 2021, or as all of you I would assume know by now, the LVO 2021 has been canceled due to COVID-19. Very sad news. Probably not super unexpected, but definitely a bummer. We thought we were going to be able to do it safely, but the rules of the game have changed, and we were forced to cancel the event. If you bought tickets for the event, please jump in and fill out the attached form to the show notes, or just go over to the Las Vegas Open website and you can see there what to do. There is a cancellation form. You have until the day before the event to fill that out, and you can let us know what you want to do with it. There are 4 options. You can either consider the ticket a donation to the event. If you do, thank you very much. We're taking quite a financial loss by canceling it. You can apply it to 2022. You can use it as store credit in the FLG web cart, or you can ask for a refund, although it is subject to a 10% service fee. So please fill that form out. If you don't fill it out by the deadline, we will consider the ticket a donation, and you'll no longer be able to do anything about that. But we're trying to do everything in our power to get the word out. Just let us know what you would like to do with that ticket. And bummer. But LVO 2022, very exciting. Is going to be in a new venue. It's going to be the biggest and the best LVO by a mile. The new venue is really, really, really cool. I think people are going to be extremely happy about it. It is 50% bigger than the current venue. And instead of being spread out like the current venue is, all the convention space is all in one area. And it's massive. It's really exciting. There's a full stage. You could have like a play on in the area. So we'll be able to go above and beyond anything you've ever seen with the LVO before. We're very excited about it. So stay tuned for more information on that, and we will let you all know as things develop how that is going to play out. But I have a feeling LVO 2022 is going to raise the bar beyond what anybody even imagined. So it's going to be really cool. All right, we were going to talk about Death Guard previews, but Frankie is the one that did all the legwork on that. So we're just going to say, looking good. 2 wounds is great. And we'll be doing more in-depth coverage on that next week. But due to the technical difficulties, there's not a lot I could say about it because I wasn't the one that did the research. Frankie did. So I'm sorry about that. But in big news this week, the 140K list building app has arrived. It's called Battleforge, and it looks really, really good. I've just been patiently waiting for this to come out. It's a visual interface. It's a beautiful app. It's very easy to use. You can download it on your phone via the Apple or Android, the Google Play Store, for free for a month, which is very generous of Games Workshop. I know that the app has a negative reputation because of the very poor start that it had, but the app is under new management, and the list building app, I think it's going to be phenomenal. I really enjoy using it. I have been enjoying using it, and they're offering it for free as an opportunity to help as a community work out some of the kinks, right? So it's not perfect right now, but it's really good, and it looks great, and it's super easy to use. I know there's going to be people that are going to hate on it regardless. It could have been the best app in the world, and there's going to be people that hated on it because of the missteps that were made when it first came out. But for where we're at and the fact that it's being offered for free, there's really not a lot of room to complain. So jump in, use it, give your feedback, help to make it the best app possible. Instead of just being a whiny complainer, you can actually help shape it. So please download it. It's free, and give your feedback and use it. I actually really like it. I think there's definitely a little bit of kinks in the system, but for what it is and for how complex of a task this was, from my perspective, I think they've done a really good job, and it's definitely going to help improve the reputation of the app. Of course, there's some people that are going to be disappointed no matter what. But looking at the chat, a lot of people say that, yeah, it's a great start. It's going to be, once it gets ironed out, it's going to be great. And there's feedback to catch the bugs. Yeah, exactly, Essex boys. That's the best thing you can do, really, is just jump in and help point out the bugs, because it's really, really complex, right? Like, think about all the different permutations of like a unit with a number of models and war gear and all that stuff. So I think that this is going to be a tremendous asset to the community once they iron out some of the bugs. But yeah, jump in, please do. Help to make it better. As a community, that's the best thing that we can do. And GW is offering it for free for a month for just that purpose. So Anthony Ray Hinkle says, looking forward to some of the improvements to iron out some of the bugs. Yep, I agree. Wouldn't it be nice to have a QR feature for your opponent to pull up their list, social distancing and all, says Michael Grunberg. Yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff coming on the way for the app, guys and gals. This is just getting it out there, right? Like the list building app was supposed to be available on release. It wasn't. They made some changes with how the app is being developed, and they're all really positive. So this is a great step in the right direction. Harkins Aquatic said he would pay $50 if he never had to look at a codex again. Yeah. I think a lot of people feel that way. Tomodachi expresses it's a great first step. I agree. Big Nasty NASA said it's 100% better than I expected. They definitely have some bugs to work out. Yep, all fair critiques. And I think that's why they're offering it free in the first month, as an acknowledgement of, hey, there was a couple errors, but here's an opportunity to come in and help make it better. Kitty and Ranger says, trial and error is always the best way to drive things forward. I agree. Great starting point from Essex Boys. Elandril says, the need to toggle between the concise and verbose list options. I agree on that point. I do really like the concise list option on it. It makes it so easy to print out a list, show it to your opponent without having an overwhelming amount of data. And that's the kind of feedback that I think it would be really helpful if you want to jump in and give that to them, either on their Facebook page or via the feedback form. That's exactly the kind of feedback that they're looking for. Gareth Chambers says, when do we find out how many extra tickets will go up for sale for 2022? Good question. It's going to take us a long time to process all of the ticket requests, because we have to go in and notate on a spreadsheet what everybody wants to do with their ticket, right? That's going to take a long time to process all that information. So, I mean, realistically, we're probably not going to be done with it until the deadline. Hopefully we can do it sooner than that. But realistically, because it's so much labor and we're in the middle of trying to get through Black Friday sales and all that stuff, it's going to take us a while to figure out where we're at with it. But we don't open registration for the LVO until June anyway, so we'll obviously communicate and be transparent with you about everything, but it's going to take a while for us to figure out like where we're at with the LVO 2022. The upside is that the main hall for the LVO 2022 is almost 60,000 square feet. So to put that in context, the main hall at the LVO currently is 40,000 square feet. So if I remember correctly, it's like 56,000 square feet. So there's going to be no shortage of space. Like the LVO 2022 is going to be a behemoth. It's going to be ridiculously large and grandiose and cool. Really excited for that. But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated for that. Tomodachi Express asks, is the 2021-2022 ITC season going to start in January? Yeah, I mean, we're working through everything with COVID and all those sort of with all the confusion and chaos and uncertainty that brings. We're planning on starting the season at the normal time. There are countries that are fully coming out of quarantine, which is great for them. And so those people will be able to get rolling. But it looks like the 2022 season or the 2021 season, excuse me, is going to be a little bit of an asterisk as well. It's out of our hands. So we're going to do the best we can to make a lemonade with the lemons, but we're going to have to figure that out as we go, just much like 2020. Dan Miners says probably a week or two after the deadline, to be honest, you need to give everyone the VIPs options to transfer the ticket to next year. Yeah, it's good, Dan. It's going to take time. It's not going to be an easy process to go through and figure out how we're going to resolve every individual attendee's ticket. That's quite the logistical task. Red Monkus, room for more tournaments at that size. I assume you're talking about the LVO 22. Well, I would hope that everything's back to normal at that point in time. I would assume, I think that that's a reasonable expectation, but we'll see. I'm hoping we can fill the space. It'd be amazing. That would be absolutely phenomenal. I mean, when we did the math with the 44 by 60 tables, it's like a 2,000 person tournament or something insane like that. But we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Well, I have a feeling that after COVID dies down, the pent up, demand to go to tournaments is going to be massive. So I have a feeling that there's going to be so many people that are going to be so excited to go out and mingle and socialize that we're probably going to see record numbers on events. But we'll see. Ultramintra has expressed a lot of discontent with the GW app, duly noted. Really, if you want to do something positive, why don't you jump in there, download it, use it, and give feedback, or not. But I would be willing to bet that the GW list building app is going to become the de facto app simply by the fact that it's the official product. It is pretty dang good, and it's only going to get better. Trying to push back against it is probably fighting the tide, in my opinion. I just don't see it not becoming the norm for this simply because it is the official product. If somebody can choose to use something different if they want, but I think over time that it's just going to become what everybody uses. And again, I think it's only going to get better as we go, as they continue to work on it. Let's see, another comment. 2000 tournament says, Essex Boys. Yeah, if I remember correctly, when I was doing the math on the floor plan for that with the 44 by 60 tables, I think it's like around that is how many people we could fit in one room, which would be astounding. It would be astounding to see that. So we'll see. We'll see if that's feasible, but that would be really cool if it would. Alandrel says he doesn't like the reference side of the app. Well, that's a fair critique. Maybe jump in and let him know. Point out that shortcoming, maybe how it would be better, and I think that would really help to help them improve. Tomodachi Express says, "Oops, did I see the wrong one?" Peter's excited for standardized army lists, and when he's referring to the Falcon. Yeah, so that's one of the benefits of having everybody using the same software is, for one, list errors are going to go dramatically down, because if everybody's using the app and the app is accurate, or if everybody's using the same app with the same error, everyone's on the same page, right? So having standardized lists is going to reduce, those crummy incidents where a player has an illegal list and has to get removed from the tournament, or has to play down, like pull units or hold detachments or whatever the case may be. That's going to help. Having it in a standardized format is going to make it easier to read. It's going to make it easier to submit your list for an event. There's a million upsides to it. It's just getting the app to the point where it's working really smoothly, which I think it's going to. I believe it will. Right? GW's heavily invested into making this a good product. Let's see if there's any other questions. Pretty much all of the Las Vegas convention is fairly... Yeah, Michael Grunberg says pretty much all of the Las Vegas convention space is fairly disabled, accessible. Yeah, I mean, it has to be. They have to have that part of it has to be to code. That's obviously not something that we have any control over. But I know that the space that we're going to is it's so much better for a convention for what we're doing. Like the layout is just so much more attendee friendly, right? It's all in one. Basically, it's all in one space. All the different halls are connected to each other. It's super easy to get in and out. It's beautiful. I'm really, really excited. I'm excited for everybody to see it. I'm excited to see the look on people's faces when they walk in, and it's just like, oh my gosh, we've arrived. This is something totally bigger and better and more exciting than anything I think any of us have ever seen before. So I'm really excited for it. Neil Kerr says, it looks like I'm streaming from my garage. Yep, we're streaming from the one of the warehouses at FLGHQ. So we figured it was better to stream than not, even though that we are having some severe technical problems. So hopefully it's not too awful of a stream. I'm doing my best here. The Warp Provides asks, is LVO 2022 still going to be on the strip? Yes, it is. And one of the cool things is that the hotel or the casino that we're going to be at, I think people are going to be really happy with the rooms as well. The price is reasonable and they're big. So I'm excited for that. And there's going to be a ludicrous amount of space. It's very exciting. When will we announce the name of the new venue, asks Red Monkus. Probably we're going to announce it after we get through this hoopla with sorting out LVO 2021. I don't want to throw too much information out there at once and have it get confused. Maybe I'm being overly cautious. Maybe I'm withholding the information when I don't need to, but I kind of want to just resolve one thing and then look to go do something come in with some really positive, exciting news after we get through this kind of shitty bummer news that we're dealing with right now. So, one thing at a time. And maybe I'm being overly cautious, but that was my instincts, was to just do one thing at a time. So yeah, if anybody has any other questions about the LVO 2022, I'll answer it as we go. But check out the Battleforge app. I know, and for very good reason, a lot of people were negative on the app at first because it did have some serious problems when it came out the gates. But GW is dedicated towards giving you a good product. They're listening to you. They're offering this for free, which I think is a really generous offer. They want your feedback. So, in my opinion, the best thing we can all do is to try to approach this with an open mind, be positive, give good constructive feedback, and put a little bit of effort into making it the best possible product it can be, because I think it's inevitable that it's going to become the de facto list building tool. So we might as well all try to make it the best one we can. Even if, that's not the way you would normally prefer for a large company to roll out a product like this, it's where we are. So I try to always be as positive as possible on these things. All right, moving on to ITC rankings. So not a whole lot to report. There hasn't been a lot of activity. For obvious reasons, the United States is pretty much locked down again, and a lot of other countries are too. But we'll go over the rankings as we do. 40K competitive track, Dan Simmons still in first place. John Lennon is in second, although the event that put him into second place has been removed from the rankings. I'm sure people are going to have some questions about that, which I am happy to answer. So, John, enjoy it while you can, buddy, because that's not going to last for very long. Colin McDade is in third. Ken Knox is in fourth. Vic VJ is in fifth. Hobby Track top 5. Jeremiah Pettit is in first. James Weston is in second. Marshall Peterson is in third. James Kelling in fourth. Dave Danhauser is in fifth. Age of Sigmar current competitive track top 5. Matt Beasley in first. Anthony Trentinelli in second. William Sohaley third. Jordan Duncan in fourth. Gareth Thomas in fifth. Age of Sigmar hobby track top 5. Russell Tanner in first. Will Reeves in second. Adam Kamenish in second. Matt Abbott in fourth. Dan Sanchez in fifth. Underworld's current top 5. Ivan Cho in first. Glenn Dean in second. Jonathan Colson in third. Cody Handler in fourth. Mike Melody in fifth. Kill Team top 5. Rudy Pertu Tataninen in first. John Sow in second. Angel Alvarez Serrano in third. Lucas Carone in fourth. And Carlos Paz in fifth. So to address some of these questions, I figured it would come up. We don't like to promote negativity, or we don't like to make it appear as if we're trying to publicly shame anybody. That's not what we're here for. That's not what the Warhammer hobby is about. We always try to be positive and focus on positivity. But there was a rather high-profile event recently I don't even want. I'm not even going to say the event name because I don't want to make the person who ran it look bad. There was a lot of honest mistakes that were made and a couple bad decisions. But suffice it to say that there were some results that were unacceptable per the ITC guidelines, and so we pulled the event from the rankings as we do. This does happen very rarely, and so the ITC administrative team looked at what happened, interviewed players that were at the event, looked at what facts that we had, and decided to apply punitive administrative action, which we do from time to time. And the event is going to be pulled from the rankings. The main reason I brought it up is because the premise of the event was something that was technically not against the rules, but it was certainly against the spirit of the rules. So anybody out there that's trying to run an event that is, bending the rules or is like technically okay, but it looks a little fishy, ask your local ITC regional rep first. Bounce the idea off them, bounce the idea off me. And you don't want to do something that is going to instantaneously look fishy, because it's going to reflect poorly on your events, on yourself, on your staff that runs your events. You don't want to push the envelope like that. It's just not a good idea. It's better to just ask in advance, say like, oh, hey, this is funny, or this is like a way we think we can get additional points. Would this be okay? And if you have to ask, the answer is usually going to be no. But I bring it up just so that anybody out there that has an idea like that, if it feels like it's against the spirit of the rules, it's probably not a good idea to do it. So I'll leave it at that. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But with no malice and no hard feelings, we decided to pull the event because it wasn't within the guidelines for running an ITC event. So, Tomodachi Express, glad we did an investigation and covered our bases. Yeah, I mean, we always do. We don't usually make it public because we're not here to try and make anybody look bad. In my experience, having handled this numerous times, almost always it's like one bad choice and then some really understandable just errors, right? And so it's like, you're not here to shame somebody over toy soldiers. That's absurd. It's way overkill. I know people get passionate about it, but it's not intelligent or, in my opinion, it's not a fair thing to do, right? Everybody makes mistakes, and I make mistakes too. I'm not here to try and pass judgment on anybody. So that's why we tend to try and handle it internally and not make a big deal about it. But this one blew up all over the web. So Mick Werp, technically, even though I think it was a genuinely an honest mistake, they had score falsification and that was the part that was outside of the written rules of the ITC, and that's why we pulled it. And Casey Roberts says he needs more drama in his life, and it's funny. I think that the reason that this got made such a big deal of it was because it's been such a quiet season, and there wasn't. There's been so little drama that people just lashed onto this because it was something to talk about. What's up, Dylan? Flash Fry, are there going to be any policy changes made because of what happened? Yep. So one of the big things is that we're going to define how a ringer should be played. The ITC doesn't tell anybody what to do, but we're going to define clearly this is the way this is the expectation for how a ringer will behave in an event. And then, things like trying to have a double dip tournament, which is obviously silly. And I was like, come on, this is ridiculous. Are going to be made patently. Like, if you ever have an idea for a way to get more points than normal for a tournament, ask first. And the answer is probably no. Like, I don't even think that needed to be said, but apparently it did. And getting mad about gamers trying to game the system is a waste of effort. It's just, that's the nature of all of all gamers. So yeah, we are going to tighten up the rules a little bit to help avoid some of these kind of scenarios. Casey Roberts, yes, fair enough, indeed. Dan Miner says his experience as a TO is it often comes from player pressure to hit GT status. Yep, that is exactly the only time we've ever had incidences of things like this, where there's people added to the roster that really probably shouldn't have been, is because of the pressure to hit GT status. So we're actually debating ideas on ways to change the system to not incentivize people to do something that might normally be out of their character because of that pressure. Like, you don't want a system that incentivizes people to make a bad decision. So we're spitballing ideas for ways to take that pressure away, to take away the temptation to do something that might be out of character for somebody. Because, if you can build a better mousetrap, in my opinion, that's the best solution of all, right? Then you don't have to have negative interactions. The Warp says he was surprised there was a season given how people couldn't really play the game. Yeah, it was a weird one, but none of us knew how long COVID was going to last. None of us knew, when COVID hit, nobody knew what was going on, right? Like, hindsight is 2020. In the position that we were in, we were trying to make the best of it. We were already into the season. We'd already gone into it and had a bunch of events. So what the news was saying is that it was going to be like 2 months, 3 months, a month, lockdown for a month, and it's over. And so we were like, oh, okay. So nobody knew how long the situation was going to last, right? And we were trying to make the best of it. We didn't know when some countries were going to come out of it or not, So we were trying to make a prediction, given the information available to us at that time, where things were going to go. And now, in retrospect, it looks silly to have a season at all. But of course, nobody knew that in the beginning. We were doing the best we could. Yeah, I mean, like Alandril said, if all of us were New Zealand, we'd probably be back to normal by now, but that's not the case. So, we did the best we could given the information that we had on hand. It is what it is. And 2021 is looking more and more that it's going to be a weird one too. Luckily, with vaccines rolling out, I think that the end is coming in sight. That we're going to have that we'll have at least a truncated season in 2021. That's a little bit more normal, but who knows? I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. Just like nobody else does either. Jason Collins asks, are things still in lockdown there? He's in Australia. Yeah, I mean, America, it's state by state, but Nevada is in a fairly strictish lockdown. I don't know. Every state's different. So, we don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty in the United States right now when it comes to that. Marcus Galwick said, why not put the season off for the year? Well, because, again, retroactively, we can't do that now, right? We made a decision at the beginning or mid-season as to how to proceed. We can't now retroactively go back and say, oh, by the way, all of you that were acting in good faith based on the guidelines that we put forth, none of your events count. That would be much, much more unfair than to just stick to the decision that we made in the beginning. Because there are countries that are able to have events that are totally good to go, right? And so it's not fair to them to try and retroactively change the rules for them. That would be really, really unfair. It's better just to have a season with an asterisk next to it saying, it was a weird season. People did their best. Not a lot of people were even able to play, but, here it is for what it is. So, again, we're working through a great deal of uncertainty right now. It is what it is. And hopefully these vaccines roll out and we can get back to life as normal relatively soon. Buddha Bob asks, any info towards BAO 2021? I don't know yet. I would be willing to say probably not. The BAO is held in San Francisco. California is in a really strict lockdown. And I'm not feeling confident about the BAO 2021. My guess would be probably not, but we don't run that event. So once we got the LVO kind of like settled a little bit, one of my next tasks was to reach out to the administrator for the BAO and see where they're at and get their feel for it. But I don't know. It's in March. It's at the end of March. So that's from everything I've read, and I'm no expert, so I could totally be wrong. I think if these vaccines roll out quickly, that it's plausible that the BAO could happen, but I'm not certain. But we'll keep you in the loop. As we know, we'll let you know. Michael Grunberg asks, how are my league games going? I was supposed to play my first league game with Frankie tonight, but I have one of my bros is in town, came to visit from Texas, and I think we're going to have a hangout sesh tonight. We might play some 40K. I know he definitely wants to, but when you have a guest in town, that's obviously more important. But I will for sure be getting my first league game in this week. So I'm assuming I'm going to get my ass kicked because I'm really rusty. Red Monkus, I don't know if it's too late to join the Vegas League or not. You want to reach out to some of the guys like Josh Jean, some of those fellas in the Vegas area that are running the league. That would be the best way to do it. TFG Radio said Kubla Khan already said they are canceling and looking at VirtualCon. Thank you for letting me know, TFG Radio. I didn't know that. So then BAO is not. Sounds like it's not going to happen. Don't take that as official word yet. I'll confirm, and then on the next signals, we'll let you know for 100% sure what's going on. John Weiermuller asks, am I hanging with John Cook? No, it's actually Christian Alessi. For those of you who have been familiar with us for a long period of time, Christian was one of the very first members of Team Zero Comp. Really, he was a really good, well-known competitive player. He went and joined the Army, and he's just coming back to civilian life and going to school. So it's good to have him in town and hanging out for a little bit. Neil Kerr says he's keen for the FLG team event, but baby and buying a house means he may not be able to make it. Yeah, that's totally understandable, and congratulations on the house and the baby. But yeah, I feel really confident now, knock on wood, I feel really confident that the Vegas team tournament's going to happen. And I have a feeling that if the timing works out the way I think it is, and I'm not a medical expert, so I could be wrong, that event's going to blow up because there's so many people that it's going to be the first event they can go to. It's at the end of summer, it's in September, so it's in fall. So I'm hoping that event is well in the clear. So that'll be a blast. That event's going to be so much fun. We negotiated some killer deals on beer and food. That event, I think, is going to be a slam dunk. I think it's going to be really, really fun. Can't wait for it. Nicholas is saying he's really digging the sit and talk. Well, thank you, because obviously this isn't the way we normally do the show, and I'm glad it's not a total bust on that. Dolthar Sodaj, hey ho, how you doing? I need a team to play, but I want to come. Says Harkins Aquatics. Yeah, for the team tournament, what we're going to do is we're going to offer, obviously, the team package, and then we're going to offer we'll put you on a team ticket, right? So you buy a ticket, and then we'll help to get you a team so that you can come out and have fun. And then we'll also have, mercenary tickets where, inevitably when a team has somebody drop, you can fill in. Excuse me, I just spit. We're going to try and make it as easy for people to come out and join as possible. And the other nice thing is the weather's really nice at that time of the year in Vegas. So, I think it'd be a really fun trip to come out, drink some beers, play in the team tournament, go to the pool, all that kind of stuff. So, Neil Curse asks, likelihood of you and Frankie coming over for the WTC for practice before your event. Yeah, we are still on Team America, which is hilarious. Considering everything that's happened, I just need to play some games because I'm going to embarrass the heck out of Team America right now. Frankie's been playing; he's actually doing quite well. But I would be the embarrassment of the country right now. So I definitely need some practice, and I'm going to be getting that starting this week. But you don't have to twist my arm to come out to Europe and hang out for a couple extra days. I love it there, and it's been too long since I've been on the continent. So yeah, I would love to come and hang out with everybody. See if I can take a couple weeks off. That'd be killer. Tomodachi Express, do all the things we've been waiting for the past year to do. Yeah, totally. I can't wait to see everybody. I miss seeing everybody at events. That's been the biggest bummer of this whole stupid year. I don't have the friends ticket option, says John Weiermuller, for the team event. Yep. We want everyone to be able to come and have fun, So some people might not have a full team. You might live in a place where there's not a lot of people to play 40K with, but maybe we can help get you on a team and make some friends and make it easy to come to the event. Harkins Aquatics says you'll come and practice with me because he's rusty. Yep. I think Aurelio and I were supposed to play this week to get a practice game in. I'm sure he'll stomp my ass because he's really good and I'm really rusty. And yeah, I welcome all the practice. I need it bad. I think the Rhino wanted to play a game as well to get in there and get some practice games in. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining me for the sit in chat edition of Signals from the Frontline. I'm sorry that I may or may not have forgotten the streaming laptop, so Pablo really was hamstrung and couldn't do his job, and therefore the show is a little different today, but hopefully it didn't suck too much. I appreciate everybody joining me and asking lots of questions, giving me something to talk about. Otherwise, this would have been really bad. Hope everybody has a wonderful week. Enjoy some games, and stay safe and healthy. And we'll talk to you all next week. Thank you for joining me.